Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to make a quilt block that is called Prairie Queen. So to do that, we're first out of white. I chose white. Out of one of your colors, you're going to cut 2 squares that are 5 by 5, one that is 4.5 by 4.5, and one strip that is 2.5 by 20. And the other one, it's only 2 colors, so the other one is going to be 2 squares that are 5 by 5 and one strip that is 2.5 by 20. So we're going to lay the 4 by 4 to the side. It's already done. That's how it's going to look. For the 5 by 5 squares, we're going to make half square triangles. So I've already done that part, but what we're going to do is we're going to draw. You could do this 2 ways. So I laid my 1/4 inch line right there on the corner and I drew a line and I flipped it around and then I laid it, same thing, 1/4 inch line on the corner to corner and I drew a line. So I'm going to sew on those lines. The other way is you could draw one line corner to corner and sew a 1/4 inch seam on either side. I've done them both. They're not so bad. I'm really not sure which one I like best now, since I've given the other one a second chance, but I'm going to do it this way today. So I'm going to pin these right sides together. Well, one's white, so if you can find the right side, go ahead and use it. And then I'm going to sew them down. Now the other 2 strips, I'm going to show you, I already have them done from another block I had done, so I'm going to show you on fabric that does not match this, just so you know. So and it's not even the right size. I'm just going to show you one. I sewed my strips together. That was 2 20-inch strips by 2.5. So now this is 4.5 inches wide. So now I want it to be just as wide as it is. I want them to come out to 4.5 inch blocks. So I'm going to cut 2.5 inch strips. And then when I sew those 2 together, there'll be a 4.5 inch block. So what we're going to do is we're just going to line up the 2.5 and we're going to cut them off. Just like that. Also, before I go any further, I just would like to say thank you to Paula. She sent me a whole box of goodies and I truly appreciate it. You do not know how much I appreciate it. But this was in it. And it is pretty nice. It was in a quilt block or a beginner quilting set that she bought for me. And it's a little different. And it is actually taking a little bit for me to adjust because this one you push forward and the button pushes it back. But this one you have to push it in and pull it back. And that's what releases it. But I think I like it. It's easier on my hand too, my wrist. I have wrist problems, but not that you wanted to know that. But anyways, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Sorry, back to the block now. So then we're just going to put them opposite. Now again, mine will be white and green. And we're going to line them up. And we will sew it down. And I already have these done, like I said. But I'm going to do this one just to show you. And then I'll pull out the ones that do match the block. So I'm going to go sew all this up and then I'll be right back. I'm back. So I've sewn them all together. I'm going to cut them apart. Take the pins out. I got this out, but I'm going to actually cut it first. And again, then to cut these, I'm just going to lay it corner to corner. Oh, thank you so much, Paula. This works beautifully. I love it. All right. It's so much smoother than my other one. I really love it. So now we are going to, this one's pretty simple. You'll just iron it open. And there's your 4 patch. And I do have, you are going to need 4 of them. So when you cut the 2.5 inch strips, you're going to cut 8 of them. So I'm going to lay them to the side now too and put that over there. These, I'm going to show you how to trim up one, and then I'll do the rest off camera because you've seen it done. And even if you haven't, you probably don't need to see it done 4 times. And if you do, I apologize. All right, so move that to the side. To do that, we are going to lay it diagonal, lay it a little bit turned is how I did it. Another tip from a subscriber, or at least a viewer. I don't know if they subscribed or not, to tell you the truth. So what we're going to do is line up the diagonal line right there as close to this edge as possible, so you don't have to trim off too much. Look, that even got the corner. I think I love it. Now, on this one, you're going to do 4.5 because we want it to be the same size as our other blocks. So we're going to line up the diagonal, the 4.5 corner, and then both the lines, the straight lines. And there you have it. So I'm going to go ahead and trim up the rest of those, and I'll be right back. All right, trimmed them all up. I'm going to take this and put in for my pillow stuffing. And now we're going to lay out the block because now all our pieces are made. So first we're going to start with the middle piece, which was our white one. Then we are going to take these, and you're going to want, whatever your middle piece is, you want those going out. So if I would have chose white or the green for my middle piece, I'd want the green ones going out. So let's see. These are going to go just like this. Just like that. So there's our block. It's kind of like the churn dash, except for these pieces are 4 patches. But now we're going to sew these two, and these two, and make our strips, and then I'll be back. All right, I've done that. So now I'm going to cut them apart, iron them open. And you guys, I want to let you know, this is the part where I have usually sewn something together wrong. So there is no shame in doing that. I'm sure if you've ever sewn at all, you've sewn something together wrong. So we're going to iron this out. And then I am going to lay it out and make sure they're all going the right way. Because usually I don't notice until I've sewn my strips into the block. And then it's just more work. Oh. So now we are gonna, it's all ironed, pressed, ironed, whatever you want to call it. So now we're gonna lay it out, and I'm just gonna take another little quick peek at my pattern, and I want to make sure this block is touching the one to the left of it. So there, see, wait a minute. Yep, there and there. Okay, so it is right. Now, I didn't say this because I was talking about something else, but I ironed these two, the middle one inside and these out. So now when I fold it over and I nest it, they are going to go opposite directions. I'm going to pin that one, then work my way out here, and pin this one. Then I'm going to come over and I'm going to pin this one. And pin out here. That's a little bit bigger, which makes me a little nervous, but not enough to panic, so whatever. I'm going to fold it over, and I'm going to flip this, and I'm going to pin this one, because I like to just sew one down through, and then flip it over and sew the other one, instead of coming back here to pin it again. I find it easier to get it all done at the same time. The more I can do at the sewing machine at the same time, the quicker I am. Also, I know a lot of you ask when I make these that you want to see the full quilt, but I am not making a full quilt of each one of these. I'm making these because they're all blocks I want to try, and I think you guys might like them. And then I'm going to, this one I was practicing on. I do have a video on it, but I'm trying to learn how to free motion quilt. I'm not good enough at it to do a video. I might not be good enough to do any of these videos, but I don't feel confident enough to do it. But I'm going to quilt as you go on all of them, and then I'll hook them all together, and it's going to be one big sampler quilt, and it's going to have all different fabrics, all different patterns, different sizes. And when I am done that, I will show you all. And if you want to see the process or certain blocks when I'm quilting them, please leave comments, let me know. I am going to go sew this up, and I'll be right back. Sew it all together. We're going to iron it to the outside, just because. No real reason. That one's a little off. Ask me if I'm worried about it. Again, I know my thread is red and pink. Just using up stuff that I had. This is going to be a sampler through and through. I really want it to be a learning quilt. So it's going to have mistakes on it. I wrinkled that fabric. I'll get it out, but my corners actually didn't line up very well on this one. I'm not too worried about it, but the next one would be better. Like I said, every quilt block is different. The first one out of each new pattern is always sketchy for me. I don't know about you guys, but I learn something for each one I do, each consecutive one I do. But there you go. It is called Prairie Queen. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you make it, and I hope you love it. And again, I want to say thank you to Paula. I love the box. I am so grateful. I'm overwhelmed. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.